In this video, I'm going to break down how I helped my client cash collect almost 100k in 90 days. So the revenue was around 250k across 38 number of clients and with an average offer value of 6.6k. These here are some of the payments: 10k, 10k, 5k, 10k. And let's talk now about this offer. So first, we had a high ticket offer and a mid ticket offer. The offers were identical. It was just helping fitness coaches scale their coaching business. But for the high ticket offer, we had a guarantee. So if they don't make 10k in revenue in 90 days, we work for free. The price was 10k, so the guarantee was basically if you don't make your money back in 90 days, we work for free, right? So they got weekly one-on-one calls with my client. They got a weekly content review by a content strategist. They had 24/7 access to the team, so to the content strategist and to the client, and as well as lectures on like sales systems, lead generation, all that stuff, right? For the mid-ticket, the price was 3.5k. They had 5 weekly group calls, lectures, a client success manager that answered questions, and a private community. So why did we do a mid-ticket offer? Because we raised the prices for his main program to 10k. So there were a lot of people that were ready to invest 3 or 4k, but we had no offer for them. So we built a community offer that is one-to-many, so my client didn't invest too much time on client delivery, but we still could max out this audience, right? So then to get people to these offers, we had to generate traffic. Our main traffic source was IG. We used stories, reels, and carousels. For stories, it's really simple. The best that converted were client testimonial stories. Basically post wins of your client, how much money they made, etc. And then for reels, he just talked about common pain points for his ICP. On carousels, what works really good is to have contrarian takes. So we leverage that as well. And at the end of these, we always had a CTA, which either led to his free community or for them to comment. Inside the free community, they got lectures, 1 weekly call, a community of like-minded people, and they got some questions answered by the team. So when they added the CTA, we always send them a WAP link. When they join the WAP, they need to fill out this form. So first, what's your IG, what's your age, what's your current monthly income, their goal monthly income, what are they looking to improve, what's their phone number, and what's your name, right? So we framed this as progress tracking, right? So how much did you make when you joined, how many follows did you have when you joined, and at the end we could see like the progress, right? That's how we framed it. But the goal was to just filter out good leads from bad leads, and that was with the current monthly income. So we basically financially qualified them based on the current monthly income, and we wanted to know their pain points, right? For example, what are you looking to improve the most? Lead gen, content, client delivery. And then we had this Zapier automation that every time someone joined the WAP, it filtered out the people that made, for example, more than 3k, and it sent us a Slack notification like this. So everyone you lead, name, phone number, IG, monthly income, and then what he needs help with. So that gives the setter information, and then we framed it as a business audit, and the setter called him and booked a call. The reason why this works so great is because they're already financially qualified. You know they have the money, and they already admitted that they have a problem, right? The most problem in the DMs sometimes is that prospects don't really want to admit that they have a problem. And with this form, we basically forced them to give us an answer what they really need help with. And then we also had the DM funnel. So we had a lead magnet, for example, about lead generation, content, etc. Then a ManyChat sequence that sent the resource to the prospect. And then the setter followed up with them. He asked about the current situation, about the desired situation, about the current struggle. He asked what they need to get to the desired outcome. And then he presented the coach as the solution. And then he booked a call. If he didn't book a call, they got sent to a follow-up sequence where the setter who followed up with them regularly. And if you booked a call, they got added to an email sequence where 2 days before they get a reminder, 1 day before they get an objection handling client testimonial email, 12 hours before they get another reminder and answering some common questions, and then 6 hours before they get another objection handling and client testimonial email, and then 1 hour before they get another reminder and setting expectations, right? So for example, being in a quiet room with good lighting, with a microphone, all that stuff. The goal of this email sequence was to boost our show up rate, as well as pre-handle objections, right? So we had emails about fear objections, skepticism objections, price objections, right? But we always did it within like a client testimonial, so where they see, all right, a previous client went through it and he got some success out of it, right? So this is how we boosted our show up rate as well as pre-handle objections. And then they get on the sales call. And on the sales call, the 10k program always got pitched first. And if that wasn't possible, then the 3.5k was sold as a don't sell, right? For example, all right, you can't invest in the 10k offer right now, but I really want to help you. So we have a private community that not everybody has access to, and that's just 3.5k. I can let you in that. Is that a possibility for you? It was pitched something like that. And then we had 4 possible outcomes. They either closed, they put down a deposit, they got nurtured, or it was a not interested, right? So when they got closed, the onboarding sequence starts, which is really important. It needs to be fast and good, right? So first, they always got the onboarding mail with the next steps and links to the softwares. If they got close to the 10k program, then they got added to a WhatsApp chat with the mentor and the content strategist, and then the team introduced themselves, and the content strategist makes a content audit and sends it to the client in one day, right? On the closing call, onboarding call already gets scheduled, and then the client also fills out the onboarding form. For the 3.5k program, the client also fills out the onboarding form. They join the WAP in the Discord, which automatically creates a private Discord channel for emergencies. The team introduces themselves and then they're onboarded. If it's a follow-up with the deposit, the follow-up call is mostly already scheduled on the call. If not, then they set us following up with them. The nurture is only used for people that aren't ready yet but really want to invest, so they get nurtured over the span of some weeks. And if they're not interested, then that lead is lost and he's not a good fit for the mentorship. So this is the exact framework that we use. This wasn't really in depth, but if you want me to make a video about each step more in depth, for example, more about the traffic, more about the offer, more about the backend systems, more about the funnels, then let me know in the comments. I will do that for you. And if you're a creator or a coach or a consultant or an agency owner or a simple course seller and you want to get similar results to my client, then you can book a call below and we can talk.